Hello and welcome to this episode of the Virtuous Woman Show. My name is Sheila Juma and we're so delighted to be hosting you this wonderful Sunday evening. We hope you've had a great week and a great Sunday from wherever you're watching us from. Please do let us know where you're watching us from. Is it Nairobi? Is it Nakuru? Is it Kakamega? We'd love to hear from you. If there's any topic you'd love for us to handle, please do go ahead and reach out to us on our social media platforms. We are the Virtuous Woman Show on across the board. That means Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. There's a lot of content right there for you. If you go ahead and subscribe, you will not miss any of our episodes that we will keep uploading for you. You can go ahead and even just spend an afternoon on a Sunday. Just go to YouTube and enjoy yourself. It will be a big blessing to you, I am sure. Today we are handling a topic on preparation for marriage. Now, this is a topic we've kind of handled in different aspects, but we've never handled the preparation for marriage part. So this is for single and aspiring ladies. If you're out there, you're looking, you're searching, this is for you, okay? And if you know someone who is single and wanting to get married or about to get married, have them join and let us get blessed together. We have Reverend Faith Bogonko. Please help me welcome this amazing woman of God.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. There are people who may not know you. Maybe they're a new viewer because old ones we tunakujua sana, but for the new ones, introduce yourself.
My name is Reverend Faith Nyokabi Bogonko. Together with my husband, we pastor a church in Pipeline, among other churches that we lead. I am a mother of 3 biological and 12 adopted children. And so this topic is very close to my heart because I know proper preparation gives you an awesome marriage.
You have many children.
Yep, like
wow.
Sarah.
12 adopted?
Yes.
Where have you kept them?
With me.
Wow.
Yeah, but now there are those that are married.
Yeah.
Those that are still in school and so on. Yeah.
Wow, I've never met someone who has adopted that many children. That's quite something. Welcome once again. You are one of the most perfect guests to talk about this topic. You normally have such great insights. So today we're talking about preparation for marriage for ladies. Now, I don't know how to phrase this, but let me just try my best.
All right.
The list. There have been many opinions concerning the list. It can vary depending on the person. But before we even get into whether we should have a list or not, what are some non-negotiables when it comes to looking for a partner in terms of characteristics? Qualities. What should we look for?
I think there's been a cliche of tall, dark, handsome.
Yeah.
And then with the present generation, I think a very disturbing aspect has been he has to be loaded. 6 figures, 7 figures. And a disclaimer too, I normally wonder, while he's looking for his 6 figures, what are you doing?
Yeah, where are you?
Where are you?
At least even 3.
Hey, at least have something with you. So basically, I feel like all this is superficial because in marriage there's more than that. So to me, the number one quality should be is he born again? Because if he fears God, every other thing will fall in place. That would be my number one, top on the list. Number 2, character. Who is this person? What do they do when they're mad? They're really upset or very depressed. Number 3 would be what are his preferences? What is his darkest side? What is her darkest side? So those are things that should be top priority. If he has all this money but has never known Jesus, you'll just be a toy among the things that he's accumulating. If he has no fear of God, he will not even honor you or honor his parents. So honor is so paramount. He needs to be a man of honor, or she needs to be an honorable girl. I don't know why I focus so much on the guy. I think it's because it's a Virtuous Woman show, so I'm thinking of the girl child. So those are the things you look at, things that you cannot quantify, but things that will take you from here and beyond.
Yes. May I add values and the call of God on their life?
Yes.
Are you compatible with that? Like you're called to missions in Ethiopia. Him, he's called to plant a church in Nairobi. Okay.
Or he could be an entrepreneur, pharmacist, but he's a salesperson, and you're a secretary in a company. So, or he's a truck driver. He's between Kenya and Rwanda and Burundi, and you are a homemaker. So, those things they matter a lot.
Now let's get to the list. Is it okay to have a list? Is it not okay to have a list? Is having a list setting expectations too high? Does it affect the way you will stay single for long or not? Is that okay with you?
Doesn't Proverbs, the book of Proverbs says, commit your plans into the hands of the Lord and he will direct. So what is he committing? Habakkuk would say, write your vision clearly, write it down, that whoever sees it may run with it. So it's important to have a list. But having said that, should I add, it should be a realistic list. Yes. Should be realistic.
So that if you don't get someone with 7 figures, you've gotten someone with maybe 5, but he has everything else.
Huwezi kuwa umezaliwa Kaptembwa and you are waiting to be married by the Prince of Wales.
Can you say that again?
So it has to be realistic. It has to be something that is workable. It has to be something that wewe na Mungu, it's something that is real. For example, one of my daughters from a very young age told me, Mimi, I will get married to this kind of person. She's now a first year in university. That dream is still the same. So this holiday, she kept telling the dad, by the way, Dad, unajua mimi nitaolewa na, and the dad was like, why do you keep talking about marriage? She's like, I need you to know my dream. This is my dream. This is the person who will marry me. So kaanga nayo in mind. So it's good to have a list, but let it be realistic.
I like that. It's okay to have a list, but just calm down a little bit and be realistic. Pray about it as well. Emotionally, how can you prepare for marriage emotionally? Because I feel like marriage is a really sanctification ground. It's a great sanctification ground and all that. But if you're not emotionally prepared or emotionally mature, you can really be stressed out.
Very true.
So how can you be prepared emotionally?
I think everybody matures at different times, and none of us matures at the same time. A young man wanted to marry me when I was 21. I laughed. I felt I was such a baby. I was like, wait, what? Sincerely, I'm still sorry. I offended that young man so much. But I felt for me, but my younger sister, the one who follows me, got married at 19. But at 21, I wasn't ready. So the male calendar and the female calendar are very different. Guys normally would want to marry when they're financially stable. Girls have a biological calendar. That is the problem. So if a girl is approaching 30, they have to get married. So sometimes they would make a mistake because of the biological calendar. So for the guy, you can find a guy at 35, it's not even a list, hana list. They don't have a list. No, because they are working on a financial calendar. By this time, I want to have had this, acquired this, built this, bought this. But for a girl, I'm like, by the time I'm this age, I should have 1 kid and then 2 kids. By then, by this one, they'll all be in school. I'll be career-based. So because of the biological calendar and the financial calendar, the way they mature is different. And the way they handle responsibilities is different. I believe emotional maturity comes from a person. As you grow, what you have been exposed to, what you have learned. Because the same class that sits 25 pupils, there's a number one and there's a number last. So the same atmosphere, the same family, but different levels of maturity. But now, one of the things that can make you know that you're ready is how you handle crisis, emergencies, finances. When you're having an extreme emotion like anger, extreme emotion like depression, how you handle it tells of your sobriety when it comes to emotions, and that matters a lot in marriage. That really matters a lot.
True. I can say I feel like I'm more emotionally mature now than when I first got married. Yeah, because there's some things you just realize, okay, okay, it's,
you let it slide.
Just calm down, Sheila, breathe in, breathe out. Handle this better. You know, there's that growth you can see.
Very true.
So I think even if you're not there yet, marriage will get you there for sure.
You can also be 45 and still not mature.
That's true.
You can still be throwing tantrums and having your way, demanding that you have your way. So it's not really about the number of years you have. It's how you handle stuff when it comes your way.
We've talked about this with you in a different show before, but very briefly, let's talk about the effectiveness, the role that effective communication plays as you are preparing to get married. And this I feel like will spill because you're about to go on a break, but it's okay. When you are about to get married, you're planning a wedding. Now, this is a very big project, and God is a wise God, because for you to get married and plan a wedding, you will have had to go through some disagreements. And personally, I know I've had experience where there's been disagreements, different opinions. And it's not just you, the two of you, you now have families involved and all these voices. So effective communication, how do you cultivate that as you're preparing to get married?
I can never unite a couple at the altar if they've never disagreed. One of the things that we will talk about is, have you ever disagreed? So at one point, I remember many years ago, a couple, they were coming to get married, and I asked them, have you ever disagreed? They said, no, we are saved. I'm like, oh. Does she understand? Oh, yes. Does he understand? And both of them, they had just dropped from heaven. And so I said, I'm sorry.
Like Masai cows.
I cannot do this. Muende mukosane. Mukisha kosana. Mkuje. And they thought I was so unspiritual. Because the problem with that is one of them is acting. One of them is pretending. So during courtship, if one person keeps saying everything is all right, nothing is wrong, every hair is in place, there is no sweat drops, nothing, no tension ever, that person is pretending. And once you get married, the reality of marriage is that once you get married, eventually the mask falls off. You'll see this person minus makeup, utamwona ameamka asubuhi na kariva Madagascar, utasikia ule anangorota, you'll realize, they don't smell as nice in the morning breath. So before you get to that place, communication is so important. Talking to things, and yet in love. Because there's a problem with communication if all you do is talk. Communication means, as I'm speaking, you're listening. And as you're speaking, I'm listening. Not just listening with an answer ready. As soon as you open your mouth, I'm like...
Stop. Right there, because you touched a nerve. And we'll be right back after this short break with this conversation. Up and down, please don't go anywhere.